The platform begins with the introduction of a vertical prison system called the Hole, where food is distributed through a descending platform. This facility, officially referred to as a vertical self-management center, is designed to test solidarity under extreme conditions. Prisoners are placed in pairs on different levels, and their access to food is determined by their position in the hierarchy. Those at the top feast on lavish meals, while those below receive scraps or nothing at all. Goreng's awakening. The protagonist, Goreng, wakes on level 48 alongside his cellmate, Trimagasi. Goreng is new to the system, having voluntarily entered the Hole to quit smoking and read Don Quixote in exchange for an accredited diploma. Trimagasi, a seasoned inmate, provides a grim orientation. He explains the brutal nature of the Hole, where survival depends on consuming leftovers passed down from above. Prisoners are reassigned to random levels each month, drastically altering their fortunes. Trimagasi's pragmatic yet cynical view reflects the dehumanizing effects of the system. He warns Goreng against showing compassion or trusting others, revealing his own descent into savagery during his time on the lower levels. The pair begins to develop a tense relationship, oscillating between camaraderie and suspicion. The rules of survival. Goreng's initial idealism is tested as he witnesses the harsh realities of the Hole. Despite his protests, Trimagasi hoards food and refuses to ration. Goreng learns about the unspoken hierarchy. Those above show disdain for those below, while those below resent those above. This dynamic fosters isolation and mistrust, undermining any attempts at solidarity. The platform becomes both a literal and metaphorical representation of systemic inequality. Goreng's efforts to convince others to share the food equitably are met with hostility, highlighting humanity's tendency to prioritize self-preservation over collective well-being. His moral struggle intensifies as he realizes that the system actively discourages cooperation by design. Violence and betrayal. The story takes a darker turn when Goreng and Trimagasi are reassigned to level 171, where no food reaches. Trimagasi, fearing starvation, restrains Goreng and prepares to cannibalize him. The tension culminates in a violent confrontation, interrupted by Meager, a mysterious woman who descends the platform in search of her missing child. Meager kills Trimagasi, saving Goreng but leaving him deeply traumatized. Trimagasi's death marks a turning point for Goreng, who begins to question his own morality. Forced to eat Trimagasi's flesh to survive, Goreng confronts the physical and psychological costs of living within the Hole. The cannibalistic act underscores the system's dehumanizing effects, reducing individuals to mere instruments of survival. Attempts at solidarity. Goreng's next cellmate, Imagairi, represents a stark contrast to Trimagasi. A former administrator of the Hole, Imagairi enters the system voluntarily to atone for her role in its creation. She brings her dog, Ramesses too, and insists on rationing food to ensure it reaches the lower levels. Goreng initially supports her efforts but grows disillusioned as her idealism proves ineffective. The tension between Goreng and Imagairi reflects the broader conflict between hope and despair. While Imagairi believes in the possibility of spontaneous solidarity, Goreng becomes increasingly skeptical. Their attempts to enforce rationing fail, leading to violent confrontations with other prisoners. Descent into chaos. As Goreng descends to lower levels, he witnesses the full extent of the system's brutality. Starvation drives inmates to madness and cannibalism, eroding any semblance of humanity. Meager's continued search for her child becomes a symbol of both resilience and futility, as the existence of a child in the Hole is deemed impossible by the administrators. The turning point comes when Goreng and his new cellmate, Baharat, decide to take action. Armed with a message of solidarity, they ride the platform to the lowest level, distributing food and confronting those who refuse to cooperate. Their journey becomes a harrowing odyssey, marked by violence, sacrifice, and moments of fleeting hope. The final sacrifice. Goreng and Baharat reach the bottom of the Hole, where they discover a young girl the child Meager was searching for. Realizing that she is the key to sending a message to the administrators, they place her on the platform and send it back up. Baharat succumbs to his injuries, leaving Goreng to confront his own fate. In a final act of redemption, Goreng chooses to remain in the Hole, symbolizing his rejection of the system's dehumanizing values. The platform ascends with the child, serving as both a literal and symbolic message of hope. Themes and symbolism. Systemic inequality. The Hole represents the unequal distribution of resources in society, where those at the top thrive while those at the bottom suffer. Human nature. The film explores the duality of human behavior, contrasting acts of kindness with moments of cruelty. Solidarity vs. self-preservation. Goreng's journey highlights the tension between individual survival and collective action. Redemption and sacrifice. Goreng's evolution from passive observer to active participant underscores the potential for personal growth within oppressive systems. Goreng, the reluctant protagonist. At the heart of the platform is Goreng's transformation from an idealistic volunteer to a broken man seeking redemption. His journey through the levels of the Hole mirrors a descent into the darkest aspects of human nature, forcing him to confront his own morality and the futility of hope in an unjust system. Initially, Goreng believes he can influence others to act rationally and equitably, but his encounters with Trimagasi and Imagairi challenge this belief. His experiences on lower levels, particularly his eventual reliance on cannibalism, strip away his idealism and force him to embrace survival at any cost. By the film's end, Goreng's decision to send the child as a message rather than escaping himself signifies his final act of sacrifice, a rejection of the system's values and an affirmation of his humanity. Trimagasi, the cynic. Trimagasi embodies the cynical acceptance of the whole's brutality. His mantra, "Eat or be eaten," reflects a worldview shaped by years of suffering and survival. Through his interactions with Goreng, Trimagasi reveals the psychological toll of the whole, where mistrust and violence become necessary tools for survival. Trimagasi's actions, including his attempt to cannibalize Goreng, force the audience to question their own moral limits. His pragmatic philosophy may be repugnant, but it is undeniably effective within the context of the whole. His death, though tragic, serves as a catalyst for Goreng's transformation, haunting him as a literal and metaphorical ghost throughout the rest of the film. Imagiri, the idealist. Imagiri offers a counterpoint to Trimagasi's cynicism, representing the possibility of change through cooperation. Her voluntary entry into the whole is motivated by guilt over her role in creating the system, and her attempts to ration food reflect a belief in the potential for solidarity. However, her idealism is ultimately crushed by the reality of the whole's design. Imagiri's tragic arc underscores the film's critique of well-meaning but naive solutions to systemic problems. Her suicide, prompted by despair and disillusionment, serves as a stark reminder of the emotional cost of hope in an environment designed to extinguish it. Mai Hera, the enigma. Mai Hera's character is shrouded in mystery and ambiguity. Her repeated descents on the platform in search of her child blur the lines between heroism and madness. While she demonstrates resilience and strength, her violent actions and the administrator's denial of any children in the whole raise questions about her reliability. Mai Hera's presence serves as a symbol of resistance and maternal love, even in the face of overwhelming odds. Her search for her child mirrors Goreng's search for meaning, and her death further motivates his final act of sacrifice. Baharat, the warrior. Baharat joins Goreng in his mission to deliver a message of solidarity to the administrators. His physical strength and unwavering faith make him a valuable ally, but his optimism is gradually eroded as their journey down the hole exposes them to unimaginable horrors. Baharat's death is both heroic and tragic, emphasizing the high cost of defiance within a system designed to suppress it. His belief in the child as a symbol of hope reflects the film's central tension between despair and the possibility of redemption. Symbolism and philosophical underpinnings. The whole as a microcosm of society. The vertical structure of the whole symbolizes societal hierarchies, where access to resources is determined by arbitrary systems of power. Those at the top, who have the privilege to act altruistically, often choose not to, while those at the bottom are driven to desperation and violence. The random assignment of levels each month highlights the precariousness of social mobility and the illusion of fairness in an inherently unequal system. The platform, a mechanism of control. The descending platform is both a literal and symbolic vehicle for the distribution of resources. Its relentless journey downward represents the trickle-down effect of wealth and privilege, where the needs of those at the bottom are neglected in favor of excess at the top. The platform's rules, such as the temperature control that punishes hoarding, further reinforce the system's dehumanizing design, ensuring compliance through fear and scarcity. The child as a symbol of hope. The child discovered at the bottom of the hole serves as a powerful symbol of innocence and possibility. Her presence challenges the administrator's claim that no minors exist in the system, exposing their deception and the inherent cruelty of the hole's design. By sending the child back up on the platform, Goreng and Baharat aim to disrupt the status quo and force the administrators to acknowledge their failure. The ambiguity of the child's fate leaves the audience questioning whether hope can survive in a system as oppressive as the whole. Is she a genuine beacon of change, or merely another pawn in an endless cycle of exploitation? Redemption through sacrifice. Goreng's decision to remain in the hole while sending the child upward reflects a profound act of selflessness. His journey from passive participant to active agent of change underscores the film's exploration of redemption through sacrifice. By rejecting the system's values and prioritizing the well-being of another, Goreng asserts his humanity in a space designed to strip it away. Ending, ambiguity and reflection. The film's ending is deliberately ambiguous, leaving viewers to grapple with its philosophical implications. As the platform ascends with the child, the audience is left to wonder whether the message will lead to meaningful change or be ignored by the administrators. Goreng's fate is similarly uncertain, as he walks into the darkness of the hole, possibly representing his acceptance of his role as a martyr. This lack of resolution reinforces the film's critique of systemic inequality and the challenges of enacting change. It invites the audience to reflect on their own role in perpetuating or dismantling oppressive systems, challenging them to consider whether true solidarity is possible in a world driven by self-interest. Conclusion, a provocative allegory. The platform is a chilling allegory that combines psychological horror with searing social commentary. Its exploration of inequality, morality, and human nature resonates far beyond the confines of the whole, serving as a mirror for the audience's own societal structures. By blending visceral imagery with philosophical inquiry, the film delivers a thought-provoking meditation on the human condition, leaving an indelible impact on those who dare to confront its unsettling truths. The Platform is a harrowing exploration of human nature and societal structures, blending psychological horror with philosophical inquiry. Its ambiguous ending leaves viewers grappling with questions about morality, justice, and the possibility of change. By confronting the darkest aspects of humanity, the film challenges us to envision a world where solidarity and compassion prevail over greed and selfishness. If you enjoy watching this video, then subscribe to Angel Recaps for the latest movies explanation.